What's up, people? It's me. My name is Alex, and today I'm going to draw my life for you. I came into this world April 12th, 1992 in Colorado. I have a lovely mom named Brenda and a dad named Jack, and I've got a younger sister named Jackie. My mom raised me on I Love Lucy and Carol Burnett, the two most amazing women in all of history, in my humble opinion. I think they're partly to blame for my crazy personality and my comedic tendencies. Now, I was a very shy, introverted child, at least in public. Even though I was shy in front of other people, at home I loved to sing and perform. I also loved dancing. I started up ballet, tap, and jazz when I turned 3 years old, and I stuck with it for about 10 years. Now, at the same time, I also played sports. My dad has always been a crazy, insane fanatic of baseball. So he made it a point to teach me how to throw a baseball, not a softball, but a baseball, at about 6 years old. Whenever we went to LA, we would go to Hermosa Beach and I would play catch with my dad on the beach. And people would always stop on the pier to watch me. I would lift my knee really high in the air like a major league pitcher and throw the ball as fast as I could to my dad. But I also have always had a pretty theatrical side to myself. When my sister popped out when I was 3 years old, I finally had someone to boss around. Nah, just kidding. But I actually used to force her to reenact the movie Annie with me in front of the camcorder in the basement. Fun times. I loved pretending like I was on Broadway. Now, my mom also raised me on show tunes. We used to watch The Sound of Music, Oklahoma, West Side Story, all that fun stuff. And because of that, I like to sing show tunes at the top of my lungs. Not annoying at all. I had a pretty darn good childhood, I have to say. Back in the days when there was the good Disney Channel with shows like Lizzie McGuire, which I was completely obsessed with. I was also in the Mary-Kate and Ashley fan club. My sister and I always wanted to have that cheesy sister Disney Channel relationship. And I think finally, at 21 years old and 18 years old, we have that. We're both kind of off doing our own thing now, but we're closer than ever, so. Now, at home, I was always very extroverted. I had a lot of personality, but you would never know that at school. I was very shy. I didn't make a lot of friends, and I really just kind of kept to myself. I liked school. I was good at it. I knew I liked to read. I liked to write poetry, and I really liked choir class. Choir class was one of the first times I realized that I actually had a talent in singing, and I thank my choir teacher, Mrs. Lees, for that because she gave me a lot of confidence. Choir was a place where I felt like I finally stood out, which was really neat. I also was very cautious of growing up too fast. It was really annoying when the kids in my 5th grade class would try to get dates to the 5th grade Civil War ball. I was really lame. I remember telling my teacher, hey, I'm really uncomfortable with the fact that everyone in class is asking someone out to go to the Civil War ball. It's supposed to be academic and fun. I don't want everyone to grow up too fast. Yeah, I was that girl. But of course, everyone changes, everyone grows up, and everyone goes to middle school. Now, I had a lot of firsts in middle school. My first crush, my first boyfriend, my first pair of fat farms, which was really exciting. I also had my first group of girlfriends, and they were awesome, and I loved them, and I had so much fun with them, but unfortunately, girls have been pretty flaky in my life. I've always trusted way too easily and been disappointed a lot. So I decided to stick around dudes for the rest of my life. Now, my first crush was on a boy named Jordan, and I liked him because he really liked baseball, and he also talked to me, which was a plus. But later on in 8th grade, I had my first ever boyfriend. Young love. I liked him because he made me laugh, and he was nice, and he was cute. Now, my dad threatened him when he gave him the talk, which was kind of scary, but also kind of funny now that I think about it. But he ended up breaking up with me because I told him I would not dance with him at the 8th grade formal. I didn't think that anyone else was gonna dance. I am a very shy, self-conscious person. Let me just reiterate that. But anyway, after 8th grade, of course, comes high school. And by this time, I had been tired of dancing. I was bored of ballet, and I thought it was gonna be way more cool and exciting to play softball. See, softball in high school is no longer fun, it becomes a job. I was on varsity for 4 years, which was really cool. See, I was really fast, and all my teammates would call me Speedy G. My high school coach was a big part of the reason why I started to hate softball. I hated the fact that I was gonna be yelled at if I didn't do something perfectly every single time. I could go on for days about that, but I'm not going to. It really broke my dad's heart when I told him I didn't want to play college ball. See, he's an athletic scout slash recruiter slash videographer, so his job was to get me a scholarship for softball in college. And then I told him, sorry, Dad. And then bam! Just heartbroken. I also had a relationship with this guy, my first ever real boyfriend, because I don't really count the middle school one. Now, believe it or not, it was actually the same guy who I went out with in middle school. We dated for about 4 years. Well, that was a big part of my life, and unfortunately, it brought me and my parents further away from each other because they were not very approving of this relationship. It was a very difficult 4 years of my life because it's just really hard in general to go about your life not having a good relationship with your parents. I guess you could say that was my rebellious phase. Now, he was very much into theater. His whole entire family was very musical and theatrical. I kind of felt hidden in the shadows of their musicalness. I tended to get over this fear and self-consciousness of performing by auditioning for the high school musicals. I auditioned for Beauty and the Beast and Little Shop of Horrors and got nothing but the most amazing roles you've ever heard. Yes, that is right. I played the part of a spoon and a hand puppet that I stuck out of a hole and moved around. I'm not bitter, nope. Not bitter at all. But seriously though, my confidence was completely shot after that. It's really unfortunate, but after putting myself out there and failing, I thought, you know what? Maybe I'm just not that good. And I'm definitely not good enough to let anyone hear me sing. So I decided to just, keep my mouth shut and be completely terrified of ever performing in front of anyone ever again. And like I said, things change. And during my last year of high school, I decided that being scared to sing in front of people was stupid and I needed to get over that in some way. How do you do that, Alex? Well, you upload a cover to the internet, that weird thing we call YouTube. Now, this decision was very influenced by the boyfriend's family. Like I said, they're very musical and theatrical and very open about their critiques. So me being all competitive and whatnot, I decided that, you know what, I'm gonna show them and I'm going to show the rest of the world that, hey, I think that I can kinda sing and I want people to know that. It's really stupid and a waste of time to be scared to show people what I truly, truly love to do. I was afraid of failure. So I decided to do that. I uploaded a cover of Butterfly Fly Away by the ever so awesome and classy Miley Cyrus. I showed it to my Facebook friends, and about 98% of them had no idea I even liked to sing. They were like, "Wow, you sing? You should totally do this more often." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, really? Oh, thank you." So after I started up this little YouTube channel, I got a request on that weird thing called Formspring from back in the day. It said, "Hey, you should cover Airliner by Tyler Ward and Julia Shear." And I was like, who is that? So I looked him up on YouTube and I was like, holy crap, this song's amazing, Tyler's amazing, Julia sounds way better than Taylor Swift, which back then was my way of measuring how good someone was. And on top of that, I was like, they look like they're in love, they should totally be together, because yes, I shipped them too. I ended up watching all of Tyler Ward's videos and became an instant fan. And this is slightly embarrassing, but that's okay, he knows. A few months later, I got another request on Formspring that Tyler Ward was having a contest and I needed to enter it. The guidelines were you had to cover a song on the top 100 of iTunes, and the person with the best singing talent and the best overall personality and performance got to fly to Denver, which I was already there anyway, and sing 2 cover songs with him on his channel. Now, I'd never done the talent show in school, I had never tried to do the American Idol or X Factor thing. I was way more comfortable living life, not taking risks. But for some reason, something told me that I needed to enter this contest. I didn't have high expectations for it. Heck, I didn't even make the top 10 of the contest. But through that contest, Tyler saw my video, he saw that I was in Colorado, and he ended up messaging me. And he said, hey, you're in Colorado, I'm in Colorado, we should totally collab even if you don't win the contest. And I freaked out like a tiny little child. So we ended up getting on the phone together and what? Oh, by the way, I live in your neighborhood. Yeah, we're just 2 minutes away from each other. Yeah, you know the pool? I'm on the other side of it. For 6 years, we lived in the same neighborhood and had no idea whatsoever. So naturally, I freak out and go over to his house with my friend Mackenzie and my sister Jackie. Tyler ended up introducing me to his fans on his Tyler Ward TV channel, and because he couldn't pronounce my last name, he just said, hey guys, meet my neighbor Alex G. Therefore, I am Alex G. Now, all this happened right before I had to go off to college. So I ended up going to school. I went to Colorado State University for 1 year, and honestly, the reason why I went there is because my boyfriend was going there as well, and of course, I wanted to be close to him. Now, truth be told, I really wasn't at college most of the time. See, my roommate didn't talk to me for some odd reason, so it was pretty awkward to be there. All I wanted to do was go home, be at Tyler's house, be around the music, the YouTube, the videos. I had found something that I actually loved doing, and the people I met because of Tyler have become hands down some of the best friends I've ever had. So it was a pretty cool place to hang out. So at the end of my first college year, Tyler was going to have a homecoming show in Denver in front of 600 people, and he asked me to be a part of it. Mind you, I was still trying to get over my fear of singing in front of people, and playing in front of 600 people for my first show ever was ridiculous. I had no idea if I could do it. All I know is that I had to do it if I was ever going to have a career in music. It was an absolutely incredible experience. Because of that night, I found my true passion for performing. And after that night, I was 100% certain of what I was going to do with the rest of my life. Now after that, Tyler asked me to go on his North American tour at the end of the year, and because of that, I was like, peace out, school, I'm not coming back. Now everything was a little thrown off by this because all of a sudden, life wasn't the way I thought it was going to be. I was supposed to go to school for 4 years, get married to my high school sweetheart, and just do something, but it was never going to be music. Once I went on tour, it was like I woke up from this huge dream and all of a sudden saw everything clearly. I had a completely new perspective on life and the world. I learned that, hey, I don't actually know anything, and life is pretty cool if you just live it, not knowing what's gonna come next. After that realization, I ended up breaking up with my boyfriend of 4 years on tour, and because of that, I had a much better relationship with my parents, and I grew up a lot. So after tour, in the last year and a half, I just worked as hard as I could. I was at Tyler's every single day, sitting to his left, watching him edit videos, produce music, film videos. I learned so many new things about myself in the past 2 years, and out of that, I became pretty self-sufficient and have grown my channel to what it is today. And in the last 2 years, I decided to make the big move from Colorado to LA. I've had the amazing opportunity to go to Europe on tour with Tyler to open up with my own original music. I had my first 2 ever headlining shows, and I'm only at the starting line. Like, there's so much further to go. I am currently in the process of making a full-length original album. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to release it. I am so excited. And I am even more excited to have my first headlining tour of the world on that album. I am so lucky and blessed to have the most amazing and supportive family in the entire world and the most supportive fan base ever. Like, seriously. Like, if you guys weren't so awesome, I would not be here. I just want to hug all of you all the time. Come here and just hug me, please. Thank you. If you could take anything from this video, it would be to take risks, because life is so short, and it's a waste of time to not do something that you love just because you're scared of failing. And once you've gone out there and you showed everyone what you got, then you work really hard, because you determine your success, nobody else. I thank God every day for what He's given me, and I cannot wait for what's ahead of us. So thank you so much for being a part of Team Alex G. I love you guys,